All right. Well, first of all, congratulations to the winners today. Well deserved. And again, hopefully we don't see any of those on eBay anytime soon. But excited to get going. I mean, hopefully y'all are as well. And I know there's been a lot of talk about football. Now it's time to actually get to to the doing. And so that's our favorite part is getting back with the team. Our guys have had a great summer. This is a team with veteran experience, veteran leadership. Really pleased with the summer that we've had and how they've worked. Excited to head up to Charlotte a little bit later tonight with some of our guys and spend a little time with them. But it's been a great summer. It really has, and I know a lot of people say that, but these guys have done a great job. It's been a very focused group, and it was that way all spring. And again, I think that's a credit to just the veteran leadership that we have. So ready to get going. We've got a team meeting here in a little while, we're at that stage of summer where we're getting in our segment meetings. We're getting on the field with them a little bit, taking advantage of some of the walkthrough opportunity that we can have, and we'll start up August 3rd as far as just kind of administrative type stuff that we have to get done, programmatically, and then first day of practice will be the 5th. We've got a good camp schedule. I love the fact that we got 2 extra days, because really those 2 extra days gives you a chance to give them a little more time off. You got 2 extra days, but still the same. You get 25 practices, but they gave us 31 days, so that allows us to, pace it out a little bit. And we're going to play on Labor Day night, so that's a little different for us too. But we're just excited to get going and start this new journey, with this 22 team.
The new rules allowing you to do the walkthrough. What will you be able to do in those walkthroughs? How much time do you have with them?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could take, technically you can have up to 2 hours of segments and up to 2 hours of walkthrough if you wanted, but all of that has to come out of your 8 hours of strength conditioning. So, there's a give and take there. But, for us, we really, we're in a good training phase, the conditioning aspect of it. This is that time where we're really trying to make sure they're ready for the heat and, from a conditioning standpoint. But we'll break it up. We'll take about an hour and a half each week, and some of that will be meeting time, some of that will be on the field. And then when we're actually on the field, and then these guys, we've always had skills and drills around here, what we call skills and drills, and that's still going on. That's player-led. These guys where they can actually do some competitive work, some one-on-one, some OLDL, pass rush type stuff, 7-on-7, 11-on-11 simulation, whether it be just jog through on the plays and installation. But we can't be out there for that. So when we're on the field with them, it's truly just instructional, individual. You can line up with 11 people, but you can't have anybody across from them. You can't have any type of, simulation of going against another person. So, but that's fine. I mean, listen, we're just excited that we can actually get on the field and teach. We can still install things on air, and we can still get a lot of individual stuff done and taught, especially for some of the young guys that haven't necessarily been through a practice yet and don't really know a lot of our terminology or how we teach drills and fundamentals. So it's a good opportunity for us to get them up ahead of pace from where we normally would be starting next week or a couple weeks.
Coach, no transfers for you since the spring, which is pretty rare in this day and age, especially a program like yours. How pleasing was that for you?
Yeah, again, I think that just says a lot about our team and where they are and how much they value Clemson and what they think about their opportunity and their experience here. I think that of the Power 65, there were only 4 teams that did not have anybody leave, before, right during spring and after spring. So we had 109 guys go through spring, and they're all still here. So most years there's somebody, either just before practice or during practice or exit meetings after practice. You have somebody that may leave, whether it be a graduate or whatever. But I think this is the one thing that I love about this team, and I think that particularly speaks to it, is this team is very self-aware. This is a team, a lot of times when you have these exit meetings, and 109 meetings is a lot coming out of spring, and sometimes, there's been very few years where you go through your whole roster, every now and then you'll have a meeting where you'll have to take a deep breath because it's about to be a tough meeting, or you have a meeting and you're not on the same page. And I didn't have any of that this year. There wasn't a single meeting where, I had to kind of get myself mentally ready, and there wasn't a single meeting where we weren't on the same page. And I love that about this team. Self-awareness is it's not always there with young people, especially the type of talented guys that we have, because this is very much a developmental game, and it's a long-term process. It's a long-term development. It doesn't always happen when you want it to, or in the short term. So, but I think that says a lot about this group. Again, how focused they are, what they think about Clemson, what they think about their coaches, and their overall experience here.
Speaking of development, I was wondering what kind of steps DJ has taken forth over the past couple months.
Yeah, well, he just, first of all, gotten healthy. He's gotten his finger healthy. He's gotten his knee healthy and fortified that. He's finally out of the brace. And then, he's never been, he was in good shape last year and physically not in a bad spot, but he was good, and now he's become elite from a nutrition standpoint, a body composition standpoint, just really taking care of his greatest asset, which is his body. And he's just done it at an unbelievable level. So, he's changed the composition. When you look at him, you'll be like, wow. He looks great. He's stronger. He's faster. He's probably, 25 to 30 pounds different, and just feels great. And then I think also just mentally, he's just a different person than he was this time last year because of what he's been through. He went through a lot. Obviously, we had a lot of challenges around him, and in a kind of a perfect storm type of a year from an injury standpoint offensively. And he kind of lost his confidence, and he didn't play as well at times as he needed to. And again, not a lot of continuity around him to go with it. But watching him go through that and never make an excuse and never point a finger, I think it just fortified him as an unbelievable leader on this team. He's incredibly respected. He is as committed and as hard a worker as we have on this team. And that's the other thing I like about this team. This team, the best players are our most committed guys and our hardest workers. And that's not always the case on teams. But this team, I can honestly tell you that. Our best players are our hardest workers. They're our most committed guys. They're our best leaders. And I put DJ in that category. So I'm really proud of him. And then he's worked really hard on just the fundamentals and getting back to the basics and the foundational aspects of playing quarterback, really learning from everything last year on what he could do better, and then applying that through spring and into this summer. So he's ready to go. Now he's just got to go do it, and certainly we all know we can do it. But I just love how he finished last year, and I thought how he finished carried him into the off season because he again went through a lot. I think he came through the other side of it, and really developed the type of toughness mentally that you have to be a great quarterback at this level.
Dabo, how is the vibe of this team different, knowing that you're not defending the ACC title the way you have the past 6 years? Is there a different edge to this group? Is it maybe easier in your mind to get them motivated, so to speak?
Yeah, I don't think so. We didn't win the league 7 years in a row. We're not entitled to win the league, but I've never really measured teams by that. I've had championship teams that weren't as committed, weren't as focused as that team last year. They won a championship, but I measure teams differently than maybe the outside people do. This team is like a lot of the teams that we've had. They've gotten back to work. Our staff's done a great job. I think the biggest thing I would say about this group, because we haven't had, there's nobody on our team, that's really had what I would call football adversity. From a team standpoint, we've had individuals with some challenges, but true football adversity. We've had disappointment, but I don't call losing a national championship or a playoff game. That's not adversity. That's disappointing. But I wouldn't call that football adversity. Football adversity is, what we dealt with last year. And sit there and you're 4-3. And you got a lot of challenges. There's a lot of things, and how you going to respond. And so I think the biggest thing for this team coming out of last year is probably just a reset on what it takes to win, and more importantly, not necessarily what it takes to win, but an appreciation for what it takes to win and how hard it is to win, and just winning in general. I said this to y'all, I think, after that Cheez-It Bowl locker room, that was as good a locker room as I've ever been in, and I love that, just really respect for winning and respect for what it takes. And again, there's not many guys on this team that have really experienced anything other than, as you alluded to, winning championships. And so, maybe just a different perspective as they go into the season, but as far as how we've approached it, how they've worked, whether it's easy or not, I don't really think so. I think every team has its own personality. This group they have incredible leadership, and a lot of veteran experience. A lot of guys that have been a part of a bunch of championships, and now they've got a little different perspective to go with it, and I think that has given them good leadership opportunities through the spring and the summer.
Yeah, but Thomas also was saying he told the staff the more chaos there is, the better it is for Clemson as far as the college football.
Yeah.
Elaborate some on that.
It's I kind of alluded to that in the recruiting process, in that, I think a lot of people, there's a lot of narratives out there, and a lot of people forget that we've had 12 top 15 recruiting classes in a row, and we've never really had a number one class, but we've won a lot of games, and we're second in draft picks since I've been a head coach, and second in first round picks. So even though we've never really had a number one class, we've developed very well, and we've won at a really high level around here. But what we've experienced, because obviously things have been very crazy in this world, with all the different changes in college football, and the more chaotic it's got, the better it's been for Clemson. And we just, because of the foundation that we have here, because of the who we are, because of all the processes we have in place, the people that we have in place, but more importantly, again, the established culture that we have. There's not many people or places out there that have that. And I think, the more chaotic it's gotten, the more attractive we've become to the people that really value what we offer. And that is a true holistic approach to, developing as a man, not just as a football player, and the long-term value of education and relationship and, all that comes with that. So that's really, I think what we're talking about there.
Talking to the assistant coaches, it sounds like everyone, well, maybe outside of Randall, a lot healthier than in this.
Yeah, oh man, yes.
His timeline.
No, we don't have okay, you start August 31st or something like that. It's really just kind of up to him and the doctors. All I can tell you is, that when you have injuries like that, the doctors have I mean, this is what they do, and they have, I don't know what the word is, maybe it's metrics, or not metrics, but benchmarks. There we go. They have benchmarks, that you should be at certain times of your rehabilitation, and he's way above every benchmark. And to use Pat Richards' word, he's a freak. That's exactly what he said. So he looks great. He's doing awesome. But when he's ready, he's ready. It's not like he's a senior and feels like going to miss games. With Amari when he was coming, y'all remember Amari. I honestly wasn't very comfortable with Amari getting back out there, but Amari was going to fight somebody if we didn't let him play, and because he was above everything, but. And he was, y'all remember, I mean, he was amazing. Had an awesome year, and coming back, and then follow that up with a great senior year. But Adam's just getting going, and we'll just kind of go with what the doctors say. But all I can tell you is he's awesome. He's doing great. He's going to have a great freshman year. When he plays, I don't know, but I do know he'll play at some point. Is that first game, 10th game? I don't know. We'll see when that is, but I do know he's going to have a heck of a freshman year and a great career for us. Everybody else is in a good spot. I mean, we were a mass unit, and I don't know. Again, I've never really been through anything like it in all my years here. So, hopefully that's a bad year injury-wise behind us. You're always going to deal with things from time to time, but the totality of what we dealt with was a perfect storm last year. And so the guys have done great. We had a great spring. I mean, with a lot of guys with postseason surgeries. But we expect everybody to be in camp and ready to go. And Adam will be in camp and in the meetings, but he'll be at a little different, progression than everybody else.
Coach Christian was telling me